Hi, this is Stacy with Lily Bean Crafts by Stacy. Welcome to day 4 of my 12 Days of Christmas series. So I wanted to make a peekaboo, and I'm starting with a custom mix that I blended together. I'm going with like a dark blue for the glitter portion of it. So I'm starting with OORAH, which is a mini chunky, and Semper Fi, which is a fine from Peachy Olive Glitters. And I wanted to make it opalescent, so I'm going in with Grace XL and Grace Fine from Rae Creations. And it just has the most amazing sparkle, and that's exactly what I was looking for. I just kind of showed the vinyl florals that I'm going to be putting over the peekaboo. And I'm going to go ahead and take a 30-ounce skinny with a handle that I got from the Stainless Depot, and I'll link that in the description. And I spray painted it navy blue with one of my color shot paints, and I let that dry, and now I'm going in with my glitter glue, and I'm just going to get this coated really well because it does have a little bit of a chunky in it, so I want to make sure that I have good coverage here. I'm not doing the handle yet because I'm just going to use one fine glitter over the handle, and I'm just going to take my time and go ahead and get this glittered all the way around the cup. And once I have that done, I'm going to go ahead and let that dry. I'm going to glitter the handle, and I'm going to use just the Semper Fi, which is the fine cut of this dark blue, and have that be on the handle. That I have all the glitter coverage on here, I am going to take my parchment paper, and I'm just going to pat it down really carefully because, like I said, it does have that chunky in it. So I want to make sure that I get this so that there's not a bunch of pokey bits in there when I start adding my epoxy. And I will let this dry for 3 hours. I'm going in with 25 mLs of my Flynn Sisters Fast Set Epoxy, making sure that I get this covered really well. I'll let this go for 3 hours, and then I will sand it down very carefully, and then I'm going to add another 15 mLs of my Fast Set Epoxy and let this spin for 4 hours. I have it nice and smooth. I'm going to go in with a permanent vinyl that I printed this SVG on. I did find this on Etsy. It was just a really pretty poinsettia floral design. There was 2 different kinds of florals on there, and normally I would use a stencil vinyl when I'm doing a peekaboo, but because the lines on this are so thin, I wanted to go with a permanent vinyl so it would be a little bit more crisp for me. So I'm just taking my time and figuring out where I want to put this peekaboo pattern, and I'm going ahead and I'm applying it with my transfer tape. And then once I have this all applied, I will go in with my white spray paint and get it covered. Now here I have it all spray painted white, and it's dried. I just used a matte white spray paint from Color Shot to do that. And I'm going to be putting a mica powder over this white. So I'm going in with my tack it. I'm just putting it straight onto the cup, using a nice brush that's flat so that it doesn't leave any streaks in it. Once I have this completely covered, I'm going to make sure that I wait until it's dry enough. You want it to be tacky, but you don't want it to be completely dry. And then I'm going to go ahead and start applying the mica powders. I did tape off the handle because I didn't want to spray paint that white. I wanted that to stay the fine blue. It is going to be such a pretty contrast to the white, so I left that alone. Mica powder that I'm going to be using is called Blue Starlight. I got this from PDB Studios a couple of years ago, and it just has this opalescent white with a blue shift, and it's really pretty. I am using my little brush, my blush brush that I get from the dollar store to apply it. And I will let you know that this does not go far. It took me a lot of it to get it onto the tumbler, and it literally was covering everywhere by the time I was done because of the little dust that blows off of it. So be careful where you're applying this because it kind of got everywhere. But I'm going to take my time and just start tapping the brush in there and blending it in throughout the entire tumbler to make sure that I have full coverage over everything. Once I have it completely covered, I am going to go outside and spray it with my clear gloss Rust-Oleum spray paint just to make sure that it doesn't fly away on me. And here I am going in and starting to remove the permanent vinyl. The downside of using a permanent vinyl is it's a little bit harder to get it removed, but the crisp lines that come with it is just so pretty. This is a very time-consuming process. You have to be patient, but seeing your creation come to life and seeing that peekaboo color underneath makes it all worth it. Filming this, I just kept thinking in my head from SpongeBob, 3 hours later. Just made me laugh while I was in the middle of doing all of this. Then I found this meme and I had to post it too. Many unbearable hours later. Finally have all of the permanent vinyl up, and now I'm going in and removing the painter's tape from my handle so that I can see that pretty blue glitter and the contrast that it brings with it to the piece. Now I'm going to go ahead and seal everything, and I'm going in with 15 mLs of my fast set epoxy. I will let this dry for 4 hours, and then I will start on the vinyl work. I got this element sheet from Bamf Custom Creations, and I just thought it was so pretty. This is what made me decide to go with the navy blue for the peekaboo underneath. I just thought the contrasting colors would go really well together. And what's nice about this piece is that it's not pre-cut, so you can kind of cut it out as you want it to be. I just kind of found some places that worked really well with it. This is the reason why I went with a 30-ounce skinny, because I thought that the floral pieces would be too big looking on a 20-ounce skinny. And there's 3 of them that come with it, so I'm just going to find 3 spots and go ahead and carefully apply them. I have them applied, I do go in with another 15 mLs of my fast set epoxy and let that dry. And I just decided that I wanted to put a little bit more texture onto it. So I found this really pretty Winter Wonderland SVG on my Cricut, and I just went ahead and printed it out. And I wasn't sure if I was going to use it because it's a really busy pattern, but I just played around with it. And at that point in time, I had done this really pretty blue holographic vinyl, and it just didn't pop enough. So I created an offset for it with some of my silver textured vinyl, and I went in and made that with the offset, and it made it pop a little bit more, and it totally worked for me. I did go in with a mint green and a really pretty blue for these snowflakes. I wanted to have something that brought out more of the colors from the vinyl element sheet. I did get those on and I liked it, but it seemed a little bit flat for me. So my final product has that on there, and then offset on top of it, I have snowflakes in a really pretty mint and blue holographic vinyl, just to make it all kind of work together. Going in with my final coats of epoxy. This is 15 mLs of my fast set epoxy. Gonna seal everything in, make sure it's nice and good, let that spin for 4 hours, sand everything really good, and then I'm gonna go in with another 15 mLs of my artist resin from Flynn Sisters, and this is the one that is the medium viscosity that is going to bring in all the shine. And I let that spin for 10 hours, and then it was done. Here is the final product. I was asked in my Facebook group to make something with blues and whites in a winter theme, and I feel like I really nailed it with this one. If you want to join my Facebook group, it's Lily Bean Crafters Community Facebook group. And if you like this video, please hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see everybody again tomorrow. Tomorrow will be day 5 of my 12 days of Christmas. All right, bye-bye.